sometimes folks don't know when to quit, right? Like sometimes people just don't understand when a relationship is done, it's over, it's finito. There's nothing left to salvage. There's nothing left, there's nothing to talk about. Sometimes people just don't understand that concept. So because they don't understand that concept, they start doing crazy shit like the person that I'm about to talk about in today's video. And today's video is talking about a jealous ex-wife who was not only keeping tabs on her former husband, but also his fiance. And you won't believe the lengths that she went through in order to do that. So we're gonna hop into it. All right. So I actually have an article because it's a story that came out like a few days ago. So I got an article that I want to go through with you guys, and then it was also on the news, and so we're gonna watch the news as well to kind of put a nice bow on this crazy story. But this is actually insane because I really need you guys to see this, because I want y'all to let this be a lesson to y'all to not do no crazy ass shit like this. So as you can see, I have the article pulled up, and we're going to definitely get into this, right? You won't believe how a jealous ex-wife was keeping tabs on her former husband. The fiance is, well, the woman in this story, her name is Acacia Young, right? Now, she said that she felt violated after she and her fiance found out what his ex-wife was doing. So Acacia and her fiance, Nancy Villafranche, they installed some Ring cameras, all right? They installed them in their home to keep an eye on one of their kids who was sleepwalking. Now, as you can see in the article, right, they thought that their family was safe, and they found out that his ex-wife was using the cameras to spy on them. Now, Acacia was getting suspicious when she saw that the camera was recording when it was supposed to be off. So the cameras were turned off, or, when they were in the house. Obviously, I don't need to keep tabs on a room that I'm occupying. So obviously the cameras were off. But she started to notice that there was a familiar voice that was coming through the speaker on the cameras. Now, mind you, wasn't nobody else home except her and the kids, and so she was like, nah, I definitely have heard that voice before. And so once she found out where it was coming from, she disconnected her cameras. Now, as you can see in the article, it says things got creepier when the couple discovered that strange devices were connected to their Ring account, like Amazon Fire Sticks, Samsung TVs that was in his ex-wife's name. So the ex-wife was just connecting all kind of shit to their Amazon account. Now, the couple did file a restraining order, and they filed it in family court, accusing the ex-wife of live streaming over 700 hours of video from inside the house over a period of 2 months, including extremely intimate family moments, such as Acacia breastfeeding her newborn. She was walking around naked around the crib, which, she has every right to do. That's her house, along with partially undressed footage of the kids, including the 10-year-old stepson, in vulnerable settings. She was also witnessing confidential household conversations and information like their finances, credit card numbers, banking details, social security information, all that stuff. She was listening in on all of those different conversations. Now, we're going to get into what the couple actually had to say, but I just don't understand how you don't feel like an absolute loser for doing something like this. You watching over 700 hours of video on your ex-husband. That is crazy. How do you not feel like a loser? But let's just get into the actual news video. So I got that pulled up. Let's get it.
It's a thought that might make your hair stand up. A Rancho Penasquitos family tells NBC7 investigates an ex-wife secretly watched them inside their home using their Ring cameras.
How creepy is that? The DA's office is now reviewing a criminal investigation against that woman. Our Alexis Rivas has some of the video the family gave to police. And Alexis, we understand they handed over a lot more than just one recording.
Oh yeah, a lot more, Mark. It sounds like the plot to a psychological thriller, and it's all spelled out in a restraining order request accusing that ex-wife of live streaming over 700 hours of video, invading the privacy of her ex-husband and his new family. This is the moment Acacia Young says she realized she was being watched.
Wow.
Within minutes, you can see her take down the camera for good.
There's no way to describe how violated you feel. Like it feels like someone touched me. Like it feels like I found somebody in my house, physically in my house.
After they caught a child sleepwalking, Young and her fiance installed 3 motion-activated Ring cameras inside their home. One in the living room, one in the upstairs hallway, and one in the child's room. Young and her family were in their living room, and
I kept hearing this weird sound that sounded like a voice over a microphone.
then, when she was the only one still in the room,
And this time I heard it distinctively. I looked up and the blue light was on and the camera was rolling.
What were you thinking when you saw that light?
My heart sunk. My heart sunk when I saw the light.
That's actually crazy, right? That's insane. Now, here's the thing. I don't think the ex-wife really understood. Like, okay, so here's the thing. I have cameras in my house. I have maybe not this exact same camera, but I have Ring cameras, and you know, they're set up in my house. I have the app, right? Most of them come with apps where basically you can, if someone comes to your house, or you know, if someone's doing something, you know, you can talk on the microphone on your actual phone and you can talk to them, right? Let's say somebody comes to your door. I can talk to them and say, hey, what's going on? What do you need? You know, blah, blah, blah. But the thing about it is those, like the the button to press the microphone is very touchy, right? It's very like sensitive. So if you touch it in any way, you know, it's going to pick up your voice and you're going to be able to talk. I don't know if, you know, this chick knew this, but they could hear you. They can hear everything you're saying. So when the camera's on, like the camera has a microphone attached to it. So it can pick up everything. So you were low-key snitching on yourself and you didn't even know it. So busy trying to find out what somebody else is doing in their house because your dude left you. And now we see why. Because you're crazy as shit. Because only somebody who's psycho would do some shit like this.
Part, Young says, because
It was his ex-wife's voice. It was her voice.
How sure are you that that's her voice?
110%. 110%. I have not slept.
days later, Young's fiance, Anzi Villafrench, got a temporary restraining order against his ex-wife. His family court filing accuses her of watching private conversations with relatives, dining table talks about finances, even virtual doctor appointments, and Young breastfeeding her newborn.
She watched the most intimate things. You don't want your fiance's ex-wife watching these moments. Like, she has seen my naked body. She's recorded my naked body. She has seen my kids do the same thing.
Villafrench told us his ex-wife was an authorized user on his Ring account when they were married, and that he thought he'd removed her. So what he says he saw on that account left him stunned. It's in the court filing. Several smart devices with his ex-wife's name
That is crazy.
hooked to his system, giving her the ability to view his cameras.
What's going through your mind?
Whew, I was sick. I was sick.
There's so many things that this ex-wife has seen. And let's just point out the obvious. I'm sure that she may have seen, them doing some things, right? We can all use our brains here. I'm sure she probably, was looking for that kind of stuff. Freaky bastard probably gets off on that kind of shit. But it's just like, how do you not come to terms with how much of a loser you are when you do shit like this?
Panicking. I'm freaking out.
Young is still cataloging everything she says the ex-wife watched. Many clips lasted hours. And some,
I've come across at least 13 videos with her voice on them.
like this one.
I'm trying to see what these.
And then it cuts off. So it sounds like I'm just trying to see what these people are doing.
We tried reaching the ex-wife several
Wow.
times, but she never returned.
And who is she talking to? Who are you talking to? What do you mean? I'm just trying to see who were you saying that to? So do those people know what you're doing? I'm just trying to see what these people are doing. What? What type of shit is that?
Turned our call, text, or email. We also tried her at home, but nobody answered.
Obviously.
How big of a problem is this?
Most of our stalking activity will involve something, some kind of listening, some kind of watching.
San Diego County District Attorney Summer Steffens says her office prosecutes about 90 stalking cases a year.
Damn.
But
There are so many more cases that involve stalking as a precursor to the ultimate crime.
making the true count even higher.
We take it seriously because we want to stop it before anything else progresses.
These types of things happen every day. I mean, it's not like, oh my gosh, someone had their camera compromised. I mean, you could just throw a rock and find someone that's had that happen to them.
Jim Stickley would know. He's made a career of breaching security systems for corporations and government agencies.
I can't imagine putting cameras in my home. I mean, there's just too much risk. There's too many ways something could go wrong.
Why open up about this?
I don't want anyone to ever feel the way that I felt. I don't want anyone to ever lose sleep the way that I lost sleep. There may not be like physical scars, but this is something that you could never truly heal from. Like, I'm going to be paranoid about somebody watching me for a long time.
Hell yeah.
The ex-wife has not been charged with a crime, though San Diego police told Acacia Young that they did recommend several charges, including eavesdropping, wiretapping, and stalking when they handed this case over to the DA. In the meantime, 2 weeks from now, a judge will decide whether that temporary restraining order will become permanent.
So do you have any clue at this point whether and when the DA may consider actually filing some charges?
Not really, and that's because the timeline on these cases can really vary, and that's in part because state law is still catching up to the digital age. For example, even if a victim finds a tracking device on their property and they want to turn it over to police, detectives still have to go out and get a warrant in order to access that device.
Really? And that could take time.
So actually right now, Stefan is working with lawmakers to push a bill through the state house that would create an exemption in this kind of scenario.
Okay.
I have smart devices inside of my home as well. So even if you don't, you want to check your account settings about once a month. And that means look up not only who's approved to be in your account, but any devices that are hooked up.
Wow. Now, here's the thing. I have seen some people I've seen some people say, oh, well, it's the fiance's fault. And listen, at the end of the day, he believed that he had her removed from the devices after their divorce, right? So he thought that he removed her. He didn't. But I'm sure he didn't think that she would be crazy enough to actually spy on them for months. Now, the Ring device logs show that she accessed the account and viewed video footage for approximately 44,640 minutes over the span of 2 months, okay? That is up to 12 hours a day of footage for weeks. So essentially, she is working a full-time job spying on her ex. And she ain't getting paid for it, mind you. But that's how fucking insane this chick is. And there's more like her. There's more people like her. You heard homegirl say that there's like 90 instances of these types of situations every year, and it's probably more than that. So after hearing a story like this, I definitely hope if you have cameras, if you got a system that you, number one, know who's the authorized user on your shit, definitely check that app and check who is controlling what, because shit like this can happen. It is what it is, but it's still being investigated. We'll see kind of what happens, but I can only imagine how terrified or how scared, Acacia was in this situation, and how a lot of people might be feeling in this type of situation. You feel like almost like a prisoner in your own home. We see movies, where people are controlling the electronic devices in the house and all of that. That's why I don't really want to make my home super, super smart like some people want to do. Everything's hooked up to smart stuff, and it just makes your house easier to hack, at least to me. I'm not trying to put my tinfoil hat on here, but I just, after seeing things like this, and this is a really simple type of thing, but after seeing things like this, seeing stories like this, it just makes you think twice before you want to hook everything up to the grid, if you want to use that term. But anyway, my dog is getting restless, so I'm gonna actually get up out of here. But I just had to talk about this story because it was actually insane. It was actually insane. But anyway, that's all I got for you today, man. Make sure you smack a like on the video, all right, if you stuck around. I really, really rock with you. And also don't forget to subscribe for the one time. Peace. Wow.